So you talked about the ETFs. How big of a deal is this? Is this, some people are saying this is the actual, historically will be regarded as the beginning of the institutional era of Bitcoin.
I
Um,
think I said that.
oh, you said that. I'm quoting you to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been doing too many podcasts.
I tweeted. Yeah, that was one of my. I got a lot of pushback on that. I think I said that, the launch of the ETFs marks the kind of the end of the retail era, beginning of the institutional era of Bitcoin.
Okay. How then would you, looking back on that
Yeah.
call that you made, how would you determine, let's say, I don't know, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
if that were the right call or the wrong call? Like how big of an impact do you expect this to make for Bitcoin?
Yeah. So the Bitcoin will always be available to the retail individual. We will always be able to buy our sats. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean that it was being taken away from us. I just meant that there are entities with a lot more money coming into the space now, and this is their chapter. And I think that's already proven to be accurate. And you look at all these 13F filings from these like well-known institutions, hedge funds, et cetera, that are holding billions of dollars. The ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs, are the most successful ETFs in the history of ETFs. This is a really big deal. It's a really big deal.
And what do you expect to see over the next 10 years? Like, we're talking
Mass
trillions of
adoption.
dollar inflows.
Yeah, I think what you'll see is, BlackRock is obviously a proponent of Bitcoin, right? I think they had a new piece come out today that's, I didn't get to fully read yet, but very impressive kind of marketing of Bitcoin, right? So they're in on Bitcoin, but they also have a lot of funds that they manage, right? Like trillions of dollars of funds. Rick Rieder manages a ton of money, especially on the fixed income side. I think what we'll start to see is we'll see funds like the ones managed by Rick Rieder will start to say, okay, we can have an allocation of Bitcoin in this product up to XYZ percent, right? And you're going to see those guys, not just BlackRock, but everybody else, right? Who wants to compete with the BlackRock. Yes, there's a first mover advantage. And you'll see these guys, have a 5% allocation in a fixed income fund to Bitcoin. Well, when your Bitcoin goes up by 50% and your fixed income doesn't, and you outperform all your competitors because of your Bitcoin holding, you're going to see other guys playing catch up. And so I think we'll find Bitcoin work its way into different portfolios, get allocations. And then as it performs, it becomes a bigger allocation just by performance. And I think we'll see success breeding success.
That has a lot of, it really almost rhymes with the strategy, right? It's like just by virtue of implementing Bitcoin, if you will, into your financial strategy, it makes you more successful. And then, basically companies, individuals, we copy successful strategies, right?
It's a virtuous feedback loop.
Yes. It's like a hallmark of being in any competitive ecosystem, right? If the strategy works, other people are going to copy it. So, Bitcoin makes your strategy work better, basically, whether you're household, company, nation state, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, that seems really hard to stop when you frame it that way.
Well, it's a virtuous feedback loop.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing this is the part that really amazes me about this virtuous feedback loop. I've yet to find a party that is aggrieved or disenfranchised or hurt by Bitcoin's success.
That's right.
It's just remarkable to me that those that adopt Bitcoin, those that hold Bitcoin, those that champion Bitcoin, everybody can win. Everybody in that orbit wins. And I can't find who lost.
Yeah. It's positive sum game dynamics.
Yeah.
There's no zero sum to it. Which is, again, sort of paradoxical because when you have a perfectly fixed money supply, it's basically zero sum money.
Yeah.
But this is what does Jeff Booth say? Something like, you put scarcity in the money and you have abundance in everything else. If you have abundance in the money supply, you have scarcity in everything else. Something like that. What about risk with ETFs? Like some people are saying, it's the Wall Street takeover. Oh, Bitcoin's no longer decentralized because it's in these 11 ETFs and 10 of the 11 ETFs are custodied by Coinbase. I think that's correct. Do you see any of these risks? Do these have merit? Is Bitcoin's decentralization under threat by any of this? What do you think?
I think that the custody piece of the ETFs will evolve. I think that the issuers of the ETFs are custodied at Coinbase because that's where they had to custody to get approved for the most part. And when you see banks being able to custody Bitcoin, they'll have a lot more options of where and how to custody their Bitcoin. Do I think it poses a risk? I mean, yeah, to a small degree. It doesn't keep me up at night. I think that for the most part, we're dealing with fairly trustworthy, fairly competent institutions with best intentions and no real incentive, in my opinion, to everybody's got, not everybody, a lot of people have these views that this evil Wall Street machine is going to steal all your stuff and do all this stuff. They're definitely profit focused, but the BlackRocks of the world, they want to make their 25 basis points or whatever it is. That's their play here. They're not looking to jeopardize their multi-trillion-dollar business by doing something nefarious with Bitcoin. They just want, this is their little game. They just want their little piece.
What about something like very one of a kind, not one of a kind, something very extreme, like an Executive Order 6102? Like, do you think these ETFs they would naturally make an Executive Order 6102 is when all the gold was seized in 1933. Most people probably know that to watch this show.
Yeah.
It would seem to be like if all of that Bitcoin is in these few ETFs and even fewer custodians, that it would make an attack like that even more viable. Does any of that concern you?
It doesn't concern me. I mean, the reason my Bitcoin fund for high net worth individuals and family office exists is because there are people out there who want the option to take custody of their Bitcoin at some point, and that's what we offer for a couple basis points more than the ETFs. So I do think there's still some value in being able to take possession of your Bitcoin, but whether or not there's going to be a Bitcoin jubilee, is above my pay grade. I like the fact that there's an asset that we can self-custody that might be a little more impervious to it than gold was. So we're still a step ahead of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, above my pay grade. It doesn't keep me up at night. I think equal to the forces that would be negative with that, having the BlackRocks of the world be your advocate, your supporter, your ally against government is very powerful. So, if the government wanted to come after our Bitcoin, they're going to do it. But at least now we'll have these massively influential financial institutions pushing back against government.
Yeah, another look on the way Bitcoin sort of reshapes things, right? It's like now, again, you said earlier, Bitcoin basically improves every financial strategy out there. And so it's improving BlackRock's financial strategy.
Sure.
Well, now BlackRock, presumably, because if it's acting out of self-interest, would then try to block or prevent any adverse regulation or other government action coming against Bitcoin, because that would hurt its business.
Simply put, Bitcoiners now have BlackRock on their side.
Yeah. Which is, that's such a trip to think about it that way, because I bet a lot of people are very skeptical.
Who don't you want on your side, right?
Yeah.
You want your friends on your side.
Yeah.
But it doesn't suck to have your enemies on your side too.
Yeah.
You want everyone on your side at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. The enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
Maybe even your enemy is your friend.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like, well, if you were going to take an optimistic view, you would say that this is just Bitcoin bringing people, like, it's making people more cooperative ultimately.
It's
right?
giving us more common ground.
Yes.
Right?
There you go. More common ground. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.